Hello everyone and welcome back to my F1 2021 Breaking Point series, episode number 4 today, where we start the second season of Breaking Point, finally getting into the 2021 cars here in this story mode, and switching drivers. We're now playing as Casper Ackerman rather than Aiden Jackson, who we played as for the first few episodes, the first season I suppose. So a role reversal here. And a really interesting one. I did not expect that, and I really like that twist. That really caught me off guard, so much so that I didn't even notice until the first time we got a phone call, which we'll see a little bit later on. But yeah, I really like this twist, and now we have to bring Casper Ackerman back to a good run of form, it seems. So let's just get into it and see what happens next in the story. One side note though. Lucas Weber is back in the social media list thing here. I've got no idea what I'm talking about, but he's there, which is awesome. And what's this? Bonsai care? Difficult day, feeling stressed and need to wind down. Remember to take time out with your tree. Well, that's cute. Oh, we've got an email from Lucas Weber. You don't have to reply now. So Weber's actually like a character that we will have some level of interaction with, even if it's just emails, I suppose. But that's really cool to have that as a reference, I suppose, to F1 2019. But anyway, you don't have to reply now. Should I do it in his voice? What did he sound like? You don't have to reply now, but I hope you're okay. So relieved to see you walk it off. I can only imagine what you are going through right now with the team. Stay strong, my friend. Lucas. Wow, that is really cool. I really like that as a little Easter egg, I suppose, to F1 2019, and to have Weber still in the game in some form. I was slightly disappointed, I suppose, to find out that Devin Butler was going to be in the game and not Lucas Weber, but I'm glad he gets a mention and a small appearance, I guess you could call it. But anyway, that's enough talking about emails. Let's get into the actual racing. It's 2021, a new season, and the possibility of a fresh start for Casper Ackerman and Haas. Following the unceremonious end to the team's chances in the 2020 season, both driver and team are looking to deliver a strong start at the season opener in Melbourne.
Here we are then, another season of Formula One racing is upon us. Some teams confident following pre-season, whilst others still looking for answers. Let's see what the future holds for them as qualifying gets underway here in Melbourne. So, Aiden Jackson in ninth, but Haas still hopeful that the youngster can secure a decent position. Let's see how he gets on here. Teammate Casper Ackerman didn't make it through to Q3, narrowly missing out by just
13 milliseconds. You did all you could. If I went out second today, I would have those 13 milliseconds back, no problem. Why do they keep sending me out first?
11th isn't the end of the world, Casper. You'll make those places back.
Yeah, for sure. But I shouldn't have to. Zoe, hey.
Morning, Daddy.
Lily, you know it's not morning where Daddy is, right?
Mummy says you're on the other side of the world.
That's right. Daddy is in Australia. I'm upside down.
Then why don't the cars fall off?
Mommy can explain that. Can I speak to her?
Don't fall off, Daddy.
I won't, Lily. Promise.
Hey, qualifying not so good, huh?
They sent me out first.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, some of your best races were coming from midfield.
Yeah?
Yeah. Besides, I thought you loved a challenge. Lils, off the table. Now, it's breakfast time. I should go.
Sure.
You'll be great. You always are. Love ya.
Love you too.
And it was at this point I finally realized we were playing as Casper Ackerman now. But anyway. Well, there's not a lot to go through here, so let's just get into the race and see if we can come back from this bad qualifying. Oh wait, we've got more bonsai care. You should always fertilize your tree a little bit more in the spring and summer months and a little bit less in fall and winter. Bonsai care. With tensions from last year looking set to continue into this season, Kasper Ackermann pushes onward during the inaugural race of the 2021 championship.
Something's not right.
Understood, Kasper. We're on it.
It's the gearbox. I lost the gear.
Push on, Kasper. We're assessing. Just push on best you can.
I'll try.
Alright then, so here we go for the Australian Grand Prix partway through, and our gearbox has failed on us. 7th gear is missing, and since I'm playing in manual gears, that messes things up even more so because it constantly tries to shift between 6th and 8th. But we move on, and we'll see if we can make some ground and try and get into the top 10 in this race. Our next target to try and do that is Lance Stroll in the newly repainted Aston Martin livery here, so let's see if we can chase him down.
Bad news on the gearbox. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it, do your best, that's all we can ask.
So it looks like we're just going to have to deal with this for the rest of the race, but speaking of dealing with things, we're right on the back of Lance Stroll, and we'll see if we can deal with the Canadian very soon and try and make an overtake on the Aston Martin as we have a look down the inside of the penultimate corner. Not a conventional overtaking opportunity, but that seemed to work out okay for us on that occasion.
Brilliant. Nice move.
Thankfully, because it is 7th gear that we are missing, it's only the long straights that we are losing time on, and through the corners we're all okay. It's kind of annoying missing one of those middle sort of gears in the acceleration zones.
The car in front is 1.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:29.5. You're gaining by 1.6 seconds a lap.
And yes, we are very, very quick. Here's the other thing. So I think we'll be able to still salvage a few good points from this race. And yeah, we are very rapidly catching onto the back of Fernando Alonso in the rebranded Alpine livery car. So let's see if we can chase him down. You can see we're already closing up, and eventually we'll get close enough to potentially make a move on the Spanish driver. So let's see as we head into this same section of track where we made the move on Lance Stroll. He might be too far back here, but we're going to go for the move down the inside into the penultimate corner. Very aggressive there, but we get the move down on Fernando Alonso and make our way up into 9th position. The next car up the road is our teammate Aiden Jackson, so let's see if we can chase him down and see what we can do there. So we continue on then and close up to the back of our teammate with just a few corners left to go in this race. We go up the inside into the penultimate corner, a little bit deep there, and we now have to fight this through the final corner, wheel to wheel with Aiden Jackson, but we managed to hold him off just about there. But the gears may be holding us back, but we will just about stay ahead and maintain that position.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And we'll maintain that one and finish ahead of our teammate here at the Australian Grand Prix.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Well, what's happened there to Kasper Ackermann? Still managed to finish, but that's got to be frustrating out.
Yeah, looks like maybe it was a gearbox fault, which is always a blow for the driver. Ackermann won't be happy, but I'd say he's done very well in the circumstances.
Well, this isn't the start he would have wanted after last season. Let's hope things pick up for him.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it.
So, not a great race out there for you today, Kasper. Can you talk us through what happened?
Well, it was clearly an issue with the gearbox. Not a great place to be as a driver, but we'll work on it, I'm sure.
Well, despite obvious vehicle difficulty, you still managed to finish. How hard is it to bring it over the line when facing such issues?
Well, this is where experience comes in. You just have to switch off. Be mindful, but try and ignore what is going on around you. To concentrate only on the problem at hand, and hope for the best.
While it's an unfortunate start to this season, last season was muddied by a tense relationship with your teammate. How are things now with you and Aiden?
That was last season. It's no secret that Aiden and I had a few run-ins. But that's the risk when you put two drivers together for the first time. I don't like to look back, only forward. I'm sure he's learned a lot, and we'll see what happens this season.
Appreciate your time.
So much for a fresh start. Mechanical issues hamstring Ackerman at the Australian Grand Prix as his bad luck from the previous season continues. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Take good care of your bonsai and it could live for hundreds of years. Bonsai care. So with the first race of the episode out of the way, not really a lot to talk about from that, it's just a gearbox issue. Let's get into the second race in Bahrain. Looking to bounce back after the frustrations of the Australian Grand Prix, Casper Ackerman and Haas are eager to find stability in Sakir. But as the race goes on, it becomes clear that his tyre wear is reaching critical levels.
I'm losing grip.
Understood. Can you box next lap, Casper? Box next lap.
No, I need to come in now. It's quite bad.
We've got Aiden coming in now. Just hold out one more lap, please, Casper.
Isn't he a lap down?
Yes, he's on a different strategy though.
Haven't I got priority?
He's boxing now. Please hold off, Casper.
Fine. Nope. I'm all over the place here. I'm coming in now. Must have been pretty urgent for Aiden, huh?
Please be patient, Casper.
There goes another place. And another. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Alrighty then, so here we go. Ready to go racing in Bahrain after that double stack. We have to make up a few places once again after losing the time there. So let's get into it.
Okay, that wasn't ideal. Let's see if you can get a few places back, please, Casper.
Come on it.
So anyway, here we go then, as we get ready to go once again. And yes, P8, as you can see there on the pause menu, is the target. So let's see if we can gain back 3 more places to try and get there.
Currently P11, we're currently P11.
So Fernando Alonso is up next, or first up, I should say. Can we go down the inside of the final corner? Not quite close enough there. We'll actually have a little sneaky look there, as Alonso was quite slow in the apex. We've got the brand new tyres on the car, and that's given us a great grip advantage here as we
top 10 now. Keep it up.
Head on past Fernando Alonso, and that gets us up and into 10th position. The next car up the road is Daniel Ricciardo. We catch up to him along the back straight, and we'll get past the McLaren driver, the newly signed McLaren driver, and his second race for the team here in this universe anyway. But we get past him, and now we can try and catch up to Sebastian Vettel, who is knocks the car a lap down immediately ahead of us. That is an Alfa Romeo, don't need to worry about them.
Our gap to the car in front is 5.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:33.8.
But yeah, we are significantly faster than them, so let's go chase them down. We continue on then, and we do catch up to Vettel reasonably quickly, and we're actually catching up to 2 cars here, because Vettel is right on the back of Esteban Ocon. So Vettel may be going for an overtake of his own here as he looks to the inside of Esteban Ocon. We're going to sit in the slipstream of the German, switch to the outside, and we might be able to try and get both of them here around the outside of turn 1, and we'll get 2 places for the price of 1 there, and make the move on the 2 of them, and find our way up and into 7th position here in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Next up is the new Ferrari driver, Carlos Sainz. We catch up to the Spanish driver through this kind of S section of the circuit. We get a terrible line through there and drop back a little bit, but we do have the grip advantage, and we should be able to get ahead.
1 lap of fuel remaining.
And we're actually going to have to go around the outside of turns 9 and 10 here. It's going to be the long way round, but with the grip we have, it's not actually a particularly difficult pass to make. And Sainz had no option there but to give us the room on the outside, and we get through ahead of him. And that is going to be the end of our progress in this one, as we come to end this race, because that is the final lap. So that is it. We won't have time to make any more places. The next car up ahead is Sergio Perez anyway in the Red Bull, so we're not going to be able to catch him, I wouldn't imagine. So we're going to just come towards the final corner now and make a pretty good comeback drive from what was 11th place all the way back up to 6th. So very, very happy with that as we come across the line for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
An interesting little encounter between Ackerman and Jackson in the pit lane, and might that cause more friction behind the scenes?
Ackerman sounded pretty angry on the radio, didn't he? Told to box the next lap, but he came in anyway. That's not the decision of a man thinking clearly. Is he bringing his personal grievances onto the track? I think he could be.
They denied each other a significant number of points last season, and if today's anything to go by, those issues look like continuing.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours.
Congratulations on a tough race today, Casper. To all of us watching, it seemed as if there was some sort of clash in pitting strategy. Can you talk us through it?
Well, it's unfortunate, but these things happen. I felt the tires begin to go off and realized I needed to come in. It was a calculated risk. There's not much else to say. I pulled it back and finished the race, so no harm done.
So the problem we all witnessed today was a team call, and not a sign of continuing tensions again this season between you and Aiden Jackson?
Well, I'm not going to lie, as I'm sure it's obvious to everyone here. Aiden and I have never really seen eye to eye, which causes some tension. But we're also professionals, so it shouldn't get in the way of our performance. I'm sure we'll work through it. Why do you ask?
Well, you seemed angry on the radio with your team. People are asking if that's an indicator of a deeper issue behind the scenes. What would you say to that?
Well, there's nothing to be concerned about. It's just adrenaline. You're in the middle of the race, you get hot. I can't even remember what I said. If it was, colorful, and I'm sure we'll all be laughing about it later.
Thank you for your time.
While the incident in the pits may have cost Ackerman some places, he managed to claw them back and deliver a respectable finish for himself and Haas at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
I just don't get it, Zoe. He gets to pit ahead of me, and they give his car the only new power unit last season. And he gets to go out behind me in qualifying. This kid is a new #1 driver.
I don't believe that to be true.
But then why does he get paid more?
You're still upset about that?
No. Well, I don't know, maybe. I just wish I never found out.
It's not the money, though, is it?
I'm old.
You're not old.
Like this again. I am old. For a driver, I'm old.
Come on, this is your last season. You said you'd make it count.
I still need to tell them.
When will you?
Soon.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, forget about Jackson.
Okay.
And stop playing the victim. It doesn't suit you.
All right, okay.
It's Zandvoort next, remember? Everyone's gonna be rooting for you. Be the guy they love. And hey.
What?
Be the guy I love.
That's cute. Did you come up with that yourself?
I'm a natural-born charmer.
Hmm. Verstappen's got nothing on me.
You had to ruin it.
Oh my goodness. Well. Who knows what was going on in that race. To be fair though, I mean, by the time the team would have been able to tell Jackson not to pit, he would have been already heading that way anyway. They were like coming up to the last few corners as they were talking about it, so I mean it was a little bit late for Ackerman to decide he wanted to pit, but anyway. Well, that is another controversial incident between the two. But anyway, we probably have time to do another chapter in this one, so yeah, we've got the Zandvoort race up next, so let's see what that one has in store for us. Mechanical failures and team strategy frustrations have impacted Ackermann's early races this season, with the grid now heading to Zandvoort in Ackermann's native country of the Netherlands. He hopes that a return home will be the pancake to his recent struggles.
Zoe.
Daddy!
Hey, Lils. What have you been doing today?
I drew a picture.
Yeah? What's it a picture of?
It's a secret.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll show it to me later.
Maybe. Will you win today, Daddy?
I hope so, Lils. Hey, can I ask you a question?
What's the question?
Who's your favorite racing driver?
You are.
Yeah, just checking. Can I speak to Mummy now?
No.
Okay.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Lily.
New favourite character in this story mode, Lily. But anyway, that is enough of that. Let's get into the race. Could your bonsai roots be damaged? If your tree is struggling, it could be time for a repot. Check our website for a simple guide. Bonsai care. With family in the crowd, Casper Ackermann looks to a familiar track to turn around his fortunes.
It's time to go racing once again here at Zandvoort as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. And watch out for cars making use of the DRS zone into turn 1 to try and overtake. And so here we are, Zandvoort. If there's one thing you can guarantee, it's the incredible atmosphere these Dutch fans provide. The sea of orange shirts as much a part of the Grand Prix as the track itself. Max Verstappen, always a home favourite, but in the midfield, all eyes on Haas's Casper Ackermann. He'll be looking to turn around a poor patch of form, and what better time to do it than right here, in front of his home crowd. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Bottas, Sainz, Ackermann, Fernando Alonso, and Daniel Ricciardo, Stroll, Jackson, Esteban Ocon, and Vettel, Butler, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Yuki Tsunoda. Gasly and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
The crowd's all behind you today, Cass. Let's use that momentum and see what you can do out there.
Alrighty then, the Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort has never been a circuit that I have been particularly great at, so this will be interesting. So far in this story mode, they've all been tracks that I quite enjoy, which is nice, but this is probably the first one that I'm a bit 50-50 about. I don't know how easy or difficult this one is going to be, but we will see as we get ready to go to the 5 red lights. And that's lights out and away we go for the Dutch Grand Prix as we head down towards the first corner side by side with Carlos Sainz. It's been a decent launch off the line for us, and we're going to try and make this move into turn 1, and we'll just about get ahead of the Ferrari driver, and now can try and focus on the next group of cars as we have to take a bit of avoiding action, so not quite focusing enough there as we just about hold on to our position and maintain 7th through the first sector. Now let's see if we can close up to the next group. The first car we catch up to is Sergio Perez. You can see the run we're getting through the final corner as we get squeezed right up against the wall. We're very lucky to be given space around the outside there very late with that move as we run side by side and we get ahead of Sergio Perez very deep into turn 1. We're actually going to be able to carry the momentum through the slight banking there and get ahead of Valtteri Bottas at the same time. As we head to that same section of track, once again, the final 2 corners, I'm sensing an opportunity for another double overtake here. Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris ahead of us now as we open the DRS heading towards turn 1. We already got Charles Leclerc. Can we get Norris into the braking zone? Late on the brakes versus the McLaren, and quite easy to go late on the brakes into that first corner. It's one good thing about turn 1 here, and we're able to get Norris as well, bringing us up into 3rd position. So we continue on then. It is now time for our pit stop. There has not been a lot of action between then and now. We've just been driving around and trying to close the gap to Hamilton and Verstappen in front, though that is a near impossible task. So it's very difficult. They've been very quick, and you can see them pitting ahead of us there in the earlier garages. But anyway, we come in and we need a front wing change. We damaged it a little bit throughout the opening phases, and now we need a brand new one on the car, and we get going once again. But that has cost us the spot to one of the Ferraris, that is Charles Leclerc. So we'll need to chase down him by the end of the race, but I think we'll be able to do that on the soft compound tyres. So let's go. And of course we are going to overtake Leclerc at our favourite part of the circuit. Coming out of this final corner, we have a lot of straight line or a lot of cornering speed through here, which leads to a lot of straight line speed along the next straight. Aiden is in the pits. I don't know what language I'm speaking, but we get past Leclerc, and with all the cars in the pits, that elevates us up and back into 3rd position, where we stand in this race. So now let's push on to the end and bring this result home. And that is just what we're going to do as we come around the final corner on the final lap. With Max Verstappen taking the win, we are going to make it 2 Dutchmen on the podium.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
What a race for Casper Ackermann, proving the naysayers wrong with an emphatic performance. He'll be delighted by that podium finish.
Well, we all know he can do it. It's just been a while since he has. Great race from Ackermann and some much needed points for Haas.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
A podium finish today, Casper, here in front of your home crowd. How does it feel?
Well, my family's here today, my wife and my daughter, so I'm delighted I was able to have a good race for them. It means the world to have them here, and I think I would have been miserable tonight if I didn't have a good race, which wouldn't have been fun for anyone. So yeah, I'm really happy.
And the fastest lap too today. Is that something you expected?
It's realistically not something you think you're going to get too often, so no, I can't say we expected it. But it's certainly a welcome surprise. Every point counts, so come the end of the season we might be more grateful for it than we realize.
How is everything at Haas? Are spirits high? Is the team happy?
Yes, of course. We've had a bit of a bumpy start, but we're looking to rectify that, and thankfully we got a lot of races left, so we're looking forward to the season ahead. But the only thing you can ever really focus on is the next race, so that's what I'll be looking to do.
Appreciate your time.
Casper Ackermann put on a virtuoso performance at the Dutch Grand Prix with a podium finish in front of the home fans.
Hey man, great race today.
Thanks.
Nice one, Casper. Can't argue with that performance. Shame your teammate couldn't bring himself to congratulate you.
Nah, well, he's just a kid.
Kid who's getting signed by Ferrari.
So they say.
Never gonna happen.
Oh?
You keep a secret?
Yeah, sure.
I've been approached.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Keep it under your hat, but talks are going well. So you're gonna have to get on with Jackson for a little while longer.
Yeah, well, we get on fine.
That's not what I heard.
No?
I was chatting with one of your mechanics. He had some very interesting things to say about Jackson. You know what his problem is, don't you?
Go on.
Thinks you're getting too old. Says you're not fast enough anymore.
Too old?
Hey, mate, his words, not mine. You want my advice? Prove him wrong. See, he should respect you like I do. Great race out there today, buddy. Yeah? Ciao.
Well, Devon Butler up to his usual trickery, but anyway, we'll not worry about that too much, I don't think. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hey, Lily's dancing in the garage. It's hilarious. Can you come?
Just catching up on a few things.
Sure. Hey, I booked us a restaurant for tonight.
What about Lily?
Your mother's happy to take care of her.
Great, then I can't wait.
Reason to celebrate, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Zoe. See you later.
Bye.
Okie dokie then. Well, that's happening. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, we're very popular today, it seems. It's Aiden this time.
Yeah?
Casper, I missed you just now.
What do you want?
I just wanted to say congratulations for today. That was some race.
I'm busy, Aiden.
Oh, sure.
Bye.
Okay, well, that wasn't very nice. But anyway, we'll see what result that interaction causes in the next episode. But for now, I'll just say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time when we continue this series. Thanks, and I'll see you next. I just said that. Goodbye.